Hello there Assassins, welcome back to another Wheelassassin guide. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I have a brand new tutorial series lined up for you all and I'm super excited to get started with it. This is going to be how to build a Victorian train station here in Minecraft, but not just any Victorian train station. This is one of my childhood train stations. It played a vital role in my childhood. This is the Ramsbottom train station from the East Lancashire Railway. So if you guys have ever been on the East Lancs Railway, you know what I'm talking about here. I basically tried to build a replica of this train station. As I say, it played a vital role in my childhood because, as you see behind me from the Hudswell Clark train, it was for the Days Out of Thomas specials and sort of celebrations that they had going on. So when these events were going on, my parents would bring me to the station and we would ride Thomas all day up and down the East Lancs Railway. And it was just like a key part of my childhood. So I just had to build it in Minecraft, of course. So yeah, I'll be teaching you guys throughout this series to build this entire station. The train already has a tutorial, so if you want to go ahead and build this separately, please feel free to do so. But the station itself has two platforms, of course. This was actually built in 1846, so it is a really old station. It is a very historical building. So we have the actual building over here on platform 2. We have some of these sort of shed features to the platform here, loads of banners, posters, etc. Loads of historical sort of luggage bits and pieces. We also have these old scales which look pretty cool. We've got this big sort of notice board up here. We've got a bunch of benches. I had to build obviously these massive doors for the ticket office, but I haven't actually built the ticket office itself yet, so that will be coming hopefully soon. I need to ride the East Lancs Railway once again, which I know, oh no, such a shame to be able to get the rest of the details I need for that interior, but that's okay. We also have the water tower here, which is very iconic to this station. We have another few sheds over here. Maybe this one's like a coffee bar or something, so I've put that there with a couple picnic benches and things. We also have this signal just up here, and then speaking of signals, we also have one on the other side, which is pretty cool. But then we have the signal box down here past the level crossing, which I thought came out quite well. Look at that, that looks awesome. So the signal box up here is also detailed within interior, so you can go inside and it's got all the levers you need for changing the signals and things, which is pretty cool. We come out of here, obviously the line goes into one from the two railways here. We go back along, we've got the sort of pedestrian footpath over the train here, so the crossing just there for pedestrians, and then we have of course the footbridge over the top of both of the railways, which is pretty awesome. We also have on platform 1 a couple of these lovely looking lanterns, and then this waiting area just here. Now there's actually a family photo I have of myself in this one with my auntie who came to visit from Australia, so building this in Minecraft was quite a nice memory for me. But yeah, it is a very detailed train station, and it would make such a good addition for any city creation. We also have like a car park out here with all of the disabled parking spaces and things, and obviously the ticket sort of office from this side where the road is looks really cool as well. So yeah, I'm excited to teach you guys how to build this one. It's going to be awesome. If you are looking forward to it, let me know which parts you're most looking forward to in the comments below. But without further ado, I think we'll get started with some layouts today, maybe some roads and etc. But it's going to be awesome. So let's get some materials and make a start. Well, Assassin, step 1 is of course calculating how much space we'll need for this train station. I've done a lot of counting, and as you can see, we have ourselves a border around the entire station. Now I've made it into a big rectangle, just so it's a bit easier to follow instead of going in and out of these little areas where there's just grass, just so you can make sure you fit it in your world properly. So, the big old number of 206 down there, and then 80 on the other axis. So let me show you how I counted this. So I literally went from corner to corner counting this 206. Obviously I've got myself a red and black border to match the Wheelassassin guide colours, but we count from here, this very corner in the corner, obviously, to the other very corner in the corner. Logic. And that is 206 blocks along this way. So remember, if we're counting coordinates and things, we go along the corridor and then up the stairs. And in this case, up the stairs is 80 blocks up this way. We also count from, technically, the 206th block here. So we count on number 1 all the way up to this 80th block up here on this corner. So you make sure to count this basically twice over to get this exact dimension. Okay, and then when you have yourself a ginormous border wherever you may be building your station, we shall get started with some roads, I think. That'd be good fun. Okay then, assassins, I am so sorry that took such a long time, but here we have the perimeter, all squared up, all ready to go. Now the first materials you will take for this tutorial will be some yellow concrete, some grey concrete powder, and some white concrete powder. You're also going to need some stone bricks and some polished andesite as well. Now to give you a quick rundown of what this episode is going to be about, is we're going to try and build this road here that comes up to the junction here, and then it goes across the level crossing here, and then we're going to build the train tracks as well. So quite a lot of big sections that obviously mark out this entire space for us. And then probably in episode 2 we'll start mapping out some of the pathway and the platform and stuff like that. But yeah, for this episode 1 we'll get the 2 main modes of transport done, and that will give us a really good idea of what is to come later on. So yeah, firstly we're going to drop down to this corner down here, this left corner. I must apologise for the other tutorials on this world. You can see kind of dotted around builds, but those are other tutorials that I may have done and may have not done yet. So exciting. So we'll get on here and we'll count along this way to 52 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, and on the 52nd block we will take ourselves a stone brick. Just here. I know there's going to be quite a lot of counting in this first episode, but it is going to be for good reason, so don't worry. So we do that one, and then we'll switch it up with an andesite, then another stone brick, and an andesite again. And this is going to be the pathway, obviously, that runs adjacent to the road. Next, we can do a pretty simple section of taking our yellow concrete, and we're going to go from one side of our perimeter right the way to the other in a straight line. Super simple stuff. There we go. Awesome. Now we'll go back down to this end, where obviously we've started building, and we'll take ourselves 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4 with our concrete powder. On the 5th one here, we'll go up from it with 2 lots of our white concrete powder, and then we'll take another 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So both sides of our road, past the markings, are worth 4 blocks in total, but of course to get the middle line in the centre of the road, we need to add in another block, so this in turn becomes about a 9 block long road, but then, because of the yellow lines, 11 blocks. Let's take another 2 yellow here, and we're going to do this junction. Of course it goes round the corner on the right here, so 2 blocks, and then we'll do 3 singular ones, 1, 2, 3, oops sorry, in a diagonal, just like so. And then here, we'll take this one, and this one's going to go running all the way to the end of the perimeter down this way, again in a straight line. So once we get these big sections done, the rest of the build sort of slots into place very nicely, but it's just getting these bigger sections out of the way so we don't have them to worry about. There we go. And then the road down here again is the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th one, up for these 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our yellow concrete comes along here. And what we're going to do is we're running this all the way to where our junction stops, but there will be a bit of a cutout for where the car park is a little later on in the series. So we'll take ourselves the yellow concrete for now. I'm going to spin around this way just so I can see better the other side. And I'm going to stop when I get to the junction. So that should be coming up in about 12 hours. Here it is. So here. And then I'm going to match exactly what I did for that other side on this side here. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we have, of course, that 2 just there. So what I'll in turn do is I'll probably build 2 blocks here on my second one. Second one from the end. So I've gone 2 lots with the 1s instead of 3. And then 2. And then I'm going to jump the corner here and go in my straight line right the way across this level crossing and to the edge of my perimeter just there. Now this road has a lovely white line that goes right the way across, and this one again right the way up to this junction. So pretty simple stuff here. We just take ourselves a block gap between each of the lines and then just add in these 2 block white lines. So we'll just keep doing that until the very end. And then we fill around it. But I think what we'll do is we'll make both the white lines on both lots of roads. So then we can just fill in a massive section at the same time instead of having to go back and forth a little bit. So remember, right the way to, oops, to the end here, like so. That is that road completed now, which is brilliant. That's perfect. It will go over the level crossing, so of course we'll have to, you know, manipulate some of the road for that. But at the moment, it's best to get a basic sort of design down so we can work on the rest of it later. Now in here, we'll take ourselves 2 blocks, leave a space of 1, another 2, 1, another 2, and then 1, and then we'll do 2 this way, like so. And then we'll bring this one back until it's the second block of the yellow on the lines. 1, 2, I think it's about there. And then we'll do a block here, and then we'll take 2 here, and then 1 in the corner. Then up here, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I must quickly say, if you're building in the US, for example, or any other country where obviously the road layout is the opposite side, so of course here in the UK we drive on the left side of the road, but if you want to make your roads the other way around to match your city, please feel free. I've just built it obviously accurate to the original build here, and obviously England where I'm from, so if you want to switch it up, please be my guest. Let's go down this way and build the line across this way, just so we can get accuracy down to a T. Let's build a couple more of these 2s. I just happened to mention England and tea in the exact same sentence. You can't tell I'm from England, can you? Oh my word. I've actually been looking forward to building this tutorial for such a long time, and it's such a pleasure to be here right now being able to teach you guys how to build it. I did try and contact the East Lancashire Railway to tell them I've done this, but I didn't have a response. Now I think my email just probably got lost, but I will probably try and catch them up again with this build, follow them up and see if they give it their approval. That'd be awesome. And there we go. So we made it to that line, which is in the right space, which is brilliant. So now all we need to do is fill in all of these road parts, and obviously between the white lines with our grey concrete powder. A bit of a lengthy task, but we can do this. So let's get on with it. Nice one, Assassins. This is looking absolutely brilliant so far. I know we've only got 2 roads in, but trust me, that is a very, very big step toward completing this station. Now I have added in one more material, as you may see from my hotbar, and it is literally just the white concrete here. I'm not really sure why, because I've only used it for 1 line in a car park. That is it. But we're going to stick to the original, just in case I did that on purpose for some reason. I don't remember, it's a long time ago, but maybe I did. I'm not sure. If you want to keep it as the white concrete powder, please feel free as well. Save yourself some hassle. Right, I'm going to go up from the right hand side over here, so the side without the junction. I'm going to take myself 3 stone bricks just here, as this is going to be my pathway. And I'm going to take myself 2 grey concrete powder, and then we'll do an arrow. So we'll take ourselves 4 white concrete powder to the left, and then the second one up, we'll just do these 2 lines for an arrow facing toward the outer side of the car park that way. And then we'll take ourselves another lot of grey concrete powder, but let's count this real quick. So from the grey concrete powder starting, this is now 3 blocks. So we want to get to 14, so we've gone 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Now these top 2 are going to be the white concrete, as they're going to be our first parking space. So we'll take ourselves another 2 down here, another 2 and another 2. These are diagonal parking spaces, by the way. Perfect. Looking good. Okay, so we now need to get ourselves 3 blocks across and then start the next parking spaces, which are going to be the disabled parking spaces for the train station. So we'll take 1, 2, 3. Real quick, isn't it weird that I made the roads 4 blocks in width, but parking spaces only 3? So it sucks if you have a big car. But we're going to take ourselves some yellow concrete just here for 3. And then we'll do these in a bit of a crosshatch kind of design. So we'll do 2 like this, and then we'll do another 3 here, and 2 down, like that. And then we'll do 2 the opposite way around, hugging them. So in the space here, and then this one here, like so. Awesome. Now, of course, we want to add the little sort of wheelchair logo on the space so that people know this is a disabled parking space. So we'll go 1 block from here and place it just here. And then we'll do the exact same crosshatch design 1 block away. So 3 like so. Up here for another 3. And then we flip around the 3, so we go in the middle. And then again up here. Just like so. And again you see there's a gap of 3 between them. Now we do this for a few times. We're actually going to build 4 lots of these. And then there is a 5th one, but it gets a bit different. So we've got 2 of them at the moment. Let's do our next one. Just like so. Then we'll flip it around. Don't forget to add in the little logo down there. That's now 3. And let's do our 4th one. Oops, wrong way around. My mistake. And then again. And now we flip it upside down. And then we add in our 1 block just down there. So we now have ourselves 4 of these spaces just here. And now for the 5th one, it's going to get a little bit different. So we do the sort of same design for the top part. So we'll do ourselves the 3 along. So same design for the top part up here, just by going like that. And then we'll do 2 blocks down here. 2 blocks just here. Go to the direct left of this and add in 3 coming down. Placing your 1 block down there. And now we'll take ourselves a bit of a crosshatch kind of design. But firstly we'll go up from these 3 here. Leave a space of 1 and do another 3. So it connects just there. And then we'll start doing our crosshatch. So after every 1, add in yourself these blocks. And now we'll do these until we have 3 on the very top. So up here we'll just quickly count along. So we got 1, leave a space, 2, leave a space, 3. Just like so. Then we do another one here, 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 and here. Just like so. So it again goes in line with that one. And now we do them after every 1. So we just do a nice crosshatch for this space here to show that no one can park in this space. I don't know if this is for motorbikes or it's just, you know, a bit of an area you can't park in for whatever reason. But there we go. That is the car park layout. Perfect. And now because we have this actually comes down to where the entrance is. So we'll take ourselves the grey concrete powder. And we want to cut out ourselves some of these blocks down here of the yellow concrete. I believe it's going to be about 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be a little bit more, but I'm not too sure at the moment. That's fine. We'll take that one off and add in ourselves 2 of our concrete powder. Leave a space, 2, leave a space, 2. Of course we want to add in a bit of a zebra crossing so you can cross this car park entrance without getting run over. Very helpful. Leave a space of 1 and do 2. Let's go up from this and across from this. So we've got 2 blocks there. And up from this one to do like an arrow effect just there. Perfect, guys. Very nice work. Now we'll go to... we'll use the yellows to count for the next one. So we'll go this one, number 1, number 2, and on number 3 is where we'll count this one. There's going to be an arrow down here. Leave a space of 2, 1, 2, and then do your 3. 1 here, and 2 come back for the arrow there. And it should be in line with the other one over the other side. And that's perfect. So now what we're going to do is just fill in all of these spaces with our grey concrete powder. And then we can work on the next part. But this is the car park. Something I should have mentioned earlier, guys, but you see we've got the stone bricks on the right side here. We want to make sure we leave a gap for them within the car park, so we can continue with them all the way along to the other side, just here. And of course that pathway is going to be the one that helps you cross this little road that allows you to enter the car park. So we just do that like so. Perfect. So we now have ourselves a car park as well as 2 main roads. Now I think we need a train track, don't you? Alright then, Assassins, as you can see I have a bunch of new materials in my hotbar. We have ourselves some spruce slabs, some granite stairs, some polished granite stairs, some gravel, packed mud, stone brick stairs, polished andesite stairs, stone bricks, and polished andesite as well. Now then, we're going to go to this corner over here. So this one furthest away from all the roads, down in this corner. We will take ourselves the number 18 and then we'll start to build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18 just here. We'll replace that one with gravel, replace the next one up with gravel, and then we will go with 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like so. So this entire space is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just like that. Now this is where it gets interesting, because this entire gravel shape is going to go all the way to the other side of our railway. So it's going to go all the way down that way. So we're going to actually mark this out now. So it'll go up to the road just here. And again, we'll take it from the other side as well. Just here. Past the road. So make sure it's in line, just there. And then this way as well. And then this will run all the way to the other side of our perimeter. Obviously, as this is going to go through the entire build with a train line. And let's take the other line, and then we'll come all the way back through as well. And this will give you an idea of one of the train tracks. And obviously there's going to be 2 that go through the station. So this one all the way back down here. Then of course you want to replace all of this grass in here with your gravel. And then we'll get back to it. Okay, now we've done that gravel, which looks awesome by the way. It also looks like a big runway going through our road just there and all the way to the other side, which is perfect. So we'll come back down to the side we started on. And of course we have this 7. And what we're going to do is count up from the 7 as well, so along. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'll build 2 just here with our gravel. And then we'll do 4 on a diagonal. And then we'll do another 2. And then we want to do another 4. And then 2. Then 4 again. Like so. So we should have ourselves 3 lots of 4 so far. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And then we'll do ourselves another 2. And this takes us on to the top line up here, which is actually the rest of our gravel for the rest of the train line, just going through the station here. So now the aim is to fill in this entire green space, and the other side as well, with gravel, and that will lie beneath the sleepers for our next lot of train track, which is perfect. There we go, that goes through, perfect. So let me just run this right the way to the other end, just so I know for reference. All the way down this way. And now everything in between that gravel line that will be in there and all of this grass to the other lot of gravel will be all gravel. So all of this space in this line, all gravel now. Alright guys, I'll see you after this has been done, and then we can work on laying down some actual train tracks. Hell yeah. Well, there we go, Assassins. That looks awesome. And it does start to look like there's going to be like a train going through here or something. A very big train at this point, but it does look awesome. Now then, we're going to start our railway down here at the obviously the sort of siding here. So it splits off and goes into a second line. We're going to make sure that we get it back into the singular one so it can continue up the East Lancs Railway up to the next station. So we are going to go with our spruce slabs, our granite stairs, and our polished granite stairs for most of this job. We're going to take ourselves up by 1 block and place a slab, leave a space, slab, and leave a space, slab. And we'll do that basically after every one. So there's also going to be another lot just here for these 2, and another lot for the 3, and again for the 4 is exactly the same. Like so. It's just the stairs and the direction of the stairs that do change for this part. So firstly up here we'll take ourselves the granite and space away granite, polished between them. And again flip them around the other way, and I'm going to texture them, so I'm going to switch up a little bit, and you guys can do this too. You don't have to copy me. Switch it up as best as you like with the granite stairs and the polished granite. You may find it easier to use one material at a time, so maybe one material the entire way through and then go back and texture, or you might find it easier to texture on the way. It's up to you, honestly. Whichever way round you want to do this, whichever way works best for you, please feel free. So I'm going to take myself another polished here, then granite and polished, so that way around this time. And then this one will be the other way around, but 4 blocks in length. So 2 more polished, 2 more granite just here. Now I'm going to go up next to these three that are facing the wrong way around. Granite, polished. And then directly above them, I'm going to do 3 stairs like so. I'm just going to call them stairs from now on, but just keep an eye on what I'm doing with my texturing. If you guys, like I said, want to change it in any way, feel free. So now down here, we'll do some more rails. So of course, these are going to be the rails that come from platform 1. And then these are the rails that come from platform 2. And they just need to go from 4 rails into 2, which is actually a lot more difficult than it sounds in Minecraft. Sorry, I kind of had like a trip up with my words. We'll take a polish there, 2 more granite, and then we'll flip them around the other way for this one. I'll do 4 granite just so I understand myself, just there. Cool. And then I'm going to do 2 normal granite, and that goes that way. And now up here from these ones, I'm going to flip another one around this way for those 2 in there. And then we'll go from these 3, and we'll go diagonally up for 2 polished and a granite. Oh, sorry, they're in the same line, just like so. And then we'll do another one up here. 2 polished and a granite, just like that. I believe that's fine at the moment. And then I'm going to do myself after this one, but diagonally up. So again, keeping that 3 block kind of radius. We want a gap of 1 always between the rails like that, so we can add the sleepers in between them as well. And then I'll do 2 of my granite just here. So you can see that one is starting to go up that way, which is perfect. And this is just the hardest part down this way, because it's all jumbled up together, you know, mixed up. So again here, I'll do myself polished, granite, 2 polished, granite, granite, granite. And then this one continues the same way, because it's just in a straight line. So again, pretty simple idea of texturing, just every now and again just switch up the material. That looks good. And then this one up here. Now I'll go back into my 3s. Like that, looking good. And don't forget to put your spruce slabs between where you can as well. So on this side, super simple stuff. After every one, just continuing all the way down. You can do that all the way to the end as well, because it never changes. So we'll just do that all the way to the road for now. There you go. And then in between them, this one also pretty much never changes. So we'll just copy what we did on the outer one all the way along. It does look a little bit trippy without the stairs in between them. You kind of think to yourself, oh my god, I'm building a massive campsite. But don't worry, it will start to look good eventually. Good stuff. And then the other side as well, we can just kind of copy these through as if they were here in the middle of these stairs, like so. And another one just there, like that. Then up here as well, these 2 in here, and 1 up there. And then of course, those right the way through there. To make this a little bit easier to understand for us, what I'm going to do is go up to the top here, where we stop kind of curving the track. And I'm just going to build myself the sleeper that goes just here. So it's just before it starts to decline into that corner, just down there. So it goes here, and then we leave a gap of 1, of course. Then we'll do 2, and then a gap of 1 down here. Then we'll leave a gap of 1, and again, we'll just go back into the 1s. And then we will skip this one and go down here. That one like so. And then again, jumping down. And then we should be on the right track, no pun intended, just for this one here. This one is a little bit different though, seems to be another line. So let me just double check my work. So I've got this one just here, that's fine. Next one is fine. Next one after that is fine as well. So this one's in a line. So this one goes into the 2 blocks. So after doing the 1 up here, we do 2 blocks just there. Leave a gap of 1, and we do 2 again. And then there'll be a stair obviously here to get to the line there, so that's perfect. And then again over this way, there will be 1 here, there will be 1 here, and then there'll be 2 down there like so. So when we go ahead and add in ourselves the track, which I'll do now, again just texturing with my different materials where I can. There you go, it looks like that. And then again this side, we'll do the same thing. So I'm going to do this way around. And then just kind of mixing it up a little bit every now and again. like so, and then of course we're going on to the mainline track up here, like so. And you should have the differentiation between the two types of rails here. So if I just build this one along a little bit further, you can start to see this one just keeps in a straight line, whilst the other one now goes into a straight line, a little bit up the line. If that makes any sense, I hope so. So then this one, just continuing this all the way up. There we go. And then we're adding ourselves the sleepers to the other side of these stairs. Just all the way until we reach that road. There we go. And then these ones are on the straight and narrow now. However, there is a little bit of a footbridge just going across the line here to get to the middle signal. Or the sort of lever that changes obviously the direction of the track. So we want to put that in as well. And there's going to be the footbridge for, well, the footpath over the line here, just for the signalman who's going to be in this box up here. So what we'll do for this one is we leave a gap of 1. We put a block here, slab here, and then we'll do 3 blocks in the ground just there. Then up this way we'll do the same. We'll do ourselves 4 blocks though. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should connect to a slab just there. What we'll also do is on the second block here, we'll go from this one, and we'll take ourselves some mud all the way until we reach the actual road up here, just to show there's a little bit of a gap between the two lines, like so. And then we're adding ourselves the sleepers again, 1 block away from that little bridge, that little pathway over the rails, and then all the way up to the road, and then again up this way. Exactly in the same order, because they don't change now, which is very good. And there we go. Now let's just take ourselves the train track. What we might do for the other part, because it's just a long straight piece of rail, is we'll probably just do some filling off a screen, just because then it saves some hassle for you guys to worry about. But it is literally just going to be going back and forth with these two materials, like so. That looks awesome. That is the hardest part out of the way, by the way. That is one of the trickiest parts in this build. But brilliant stuff. You've done an excellent job, and that looks awesome. Hell yeah. Okay, let's go on to this long straight piece, which is obviously going to be for our platform. So this bit is reasonably simple. We are going to count a few blocks firstly together, just so we can get to the other kind of pedestrian access over the rails. You can imagine maybe someone's in a wheelchair, they can't use the footbridge, they're going to go across this part of the rail just here. So we want to try and build that in. So we're going to go past the road here, of course. So we'll take ourselves the sleepers in exactly the same places as the other side of the road, like so, all the way across, of course. And then we're going to take ourselves 6 of these in total. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, we'll do this all the way on both lots of these tracks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like so. And then when we get to this part, we're going to take ourselves the stone bricks and our andesite, and then of course the adjacent stairs as well. Now down here, we're going to do ourselves a stone brick stair, andesite, and then a stone brick stair. Then of course our rail will be back in here, so we can take ourselves just normal rail materials. Then in the middle here, we'll do ourselves a block of andesite, 2 stone bricks, then the opposite around for the rails. Then we'll take ourselves 3 stone brick stairs, and then we'll do ourselves an andesite, 2 stone bricks up, andesite, andesite, 2 stone bricks. Then of course the other rails are coming up, so we'll do ourselves an andesite stair and 2 stone brick stairs. The other rails in here. Some more blocks in here. We'll start with an andesite and then 2 stone bricks. The other train tracks up this way. And then of course the stairs coming back down onto the other side. So we'll do ourselves stone bricks and then an andesite in the middle. And that should get you to the other platform just across the way. And now what we do is continue with our slabs after every single one in 3-block rows as we've done before, all the way to the very end of the trying tracks, all the way to the end of the trying tracks, and then we'll add in ourselves the stairs doing the texturing. I think you guys will be okay with this off of camera, so I'm going to leave you guys to it. But yeah, you just want to get yourself, for reference, exactly the same as you've done here, all the way along that way. Okay, we'll have a little look at it afterwards just to make sure we've done it correctly. But trust me, you've got this under control. It's going to be absolutely fine. All right, let's get ourselves to work. Well, it took a long time, but look at that. It does look awesome. We now have ourselves these roads and the train tracks in our build, which is perfect. And obviously that is what this build is all about. So brilliant stuff. I think to conclude this episode, what we'll do is we'll drop down here and we'll complete this pathway. And obviously that runs adjacent to the level crossing. And of course, we can't actually get trains across the road at the moment because there's no tracks. So we'll do that too. So let's drop down here firstly. And similar to as we did our train tracks, we're of course going to texture this pathway with 2 materials. So what we'll do for this is we'll just take ourselves the stone bricks and the andesite and literally just go ahead and place these in random spots. So what I recommend doing is actually taking your andesite first and just running these up kind of like in this random pattern like this, and then just filling in the gaps with your stone bricks. Now when you get up here, you want to take out the sleepers between the rails for these 2 extras, like so, and then continue with your spamming of materials through these, just like so. Remember, this pathway is worth 4 blocks in width, so as you can see I've missed out kind of a big section there, so I'll just go back on myself and just try and add in some more random block placements. That's perfect. And then of course beyond the line here, we'll still want to build in ourselves these random blocks. So let's do this now as well, all the way until you reach the other end, and then we'll just make sure we've kind of doubled up some in some places, make sure it doesn't look so natural, like so. And then we just fill in ourselves the stone bricks in between, and then take a look at it after, and if we're happy with the sort of ratio between the 2 materials, then we can call this section pretty much completed. And that is how I ended up doing most of this build, is I just kind of spammed blocks and I was like, yep, that works. We'll keep that. But that is actually the most efficient way of doing it, in my opinion, and it saves you a lot of time, because going back and forth and placing random texturing blocks by hand constantly in like an organized pattern is just a nightmare. So if you want to save yourself some time and still make the build look great, then I recommend doing this spamming technique, because it has worked wonders for me in this build, and I'm pretty happy with how it's come out. So hell yeah. Right, let's just do all of these blocks in here. So far that's looking really good. That looks like there's enough blocks between my stone bricks for it to look like an actual textured pathway, like it's been here for quite some time, which is absolutely the goal. So that is perfect. I may just add in a few more. As you can see, there's quite a lot of stone brick bunched up, so that's not what we want. But for the most part, I think that's pretty good going. Yeah, that looks awesome. So now on the level crossing here, to obviously add in our train tracks to go across the road, we just go ahead and mark out exactly that. So we just take ourselves where the stairs are on both lots of these rails, going across the road and through the road, basically like this. So where you've cut the white lines is exactly where they'll stay, so don't worry about changing those up or anything like that. That is absolutely fine. Right, let's go ahead and make sure we've got some texturing going through the road with our rails. So of course keep your granite and your polished granite kind of texturing going. That is absolutely perfect. And then over this way. Awesome. And again over here. There we go. So we have ourselves an actual road crossing now, which is perfect, so our trains can get across. And I think what we'll do in episode 2 is work on the level crossing to make this 100% safe. Because right now, it's a little bit of, you know, you can play a bit of chicken with the trains, and that's not what we want. So we'll sort that out in episode number 2. But I think this is a very good place to stop for today. I think we've worked? We've worked very, very hard, and this looks absolutely awesome. So yeah, be
be proud of yourselves, guys, because this is looking amazing, and it is very, very hard work, especially all of the counting. You know, it's a real struggle just to get those 206 blocks down, but we have done it. We've nailed it. So now we've actually set ourselves up for episode number 2, which is perfect. And I think in episode 2, I'm not sure at the moment until I actually start filming it, but I think what we'll try and do is try and mark out some more of the bigger sections of the build. So we'll probably try to do some of the landscaping. Obviously we have like the platform coming up on the left side here, and then the one on the right side as well. And obviously it goes back down to ground level over here. So that is quite a big section, of course. So we'll probably try and mark this out at least to get everything marked in the right place. And obviously, as you see, there's just a lot of texturing. There's no real crazy build techniques on this part. It's just a lot of texturing. And even with the building, again, just a lot of texturing. So you needn't worry about really tricky sections coming up. It's going to be pretty simple stuff. But yeah, it's just a lot of blocks to place. And that is the part that usually grinds us down. But we'll take it easy. We'll go slow, make sure it's going to be fun. But yeah, I've really enjoyed doing this today, guys, so thank you very much. If you have too, then definitely, I really can't speak English today, but definitely drop a like. That would be very much appreciated. If you're new around here and you want to stay tuned for the rest of this series, in which I'll teach you how to build the Ramsbottom train station here in Minecraft, or a Victorian train station here in Minecraft, perfect for your steam engines, then definitely consider subscribing today and join the Assassinhood for free. That would be amazing. And if you do want to check me out on social medias, I've started to revamp my Instagram, so I've been trying to share a bit more of like behind the scenes on there, what goes down when I'm kind of planning tutorials more than anything. So if you're interested in that side of things, check it out too, link in the description. But have a wonderful rest of your day, Assassins. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you at the next part, coming very soon. Goodbye for now. Thank you so much.